Hey, hockey fans. Welcome into another exciting matchup preview. This time, we're going to talk about the men's Division II team. Patrick Strawn, joined by the always glorious Rhett McGibbon himself. And Rhett, talking about the men's D2 team this year, really looked like they were going to be done with the rebuild after last year under Coach Hughes' first watch. But now, again, they brought in a wholesale of players, once again, about 10-plus freshmen. And they took a while for the gelling to really begin in chemistry, but really the team has really been kind of back to their old ways. Offensive dynamo and offensive firepower has really been the name of the game, and also even good defensive play, and it's propelled them now to being third in the Southeast region.
Yeah, honestly, it's fantastic, the fact that they're that high. Anytime you bring in 10-plus freshmen, you kind of expect to have almost a year of getting accustomed to the college game and college life, but the fact that they're third in the Southeast region at Christmas time speaks a lot about the coaching staff, Danny Logan, Coach Hughes, and Christian Garland, so good for them.
Yeah, and good for them as well. Obviously, they're trying to look forward and move again ahead to playing in the Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Hockey Conference Championship. This would be the fourth year in a row where they made the championship game, and obviously nipping out their heels. It looks like they're going to take this out, but it's a good chance they're already going to have themselves a date with sitting at number 2, Penn State, who it took them 9 tries. On that 10th, they finally were able to take it to them, beating them 5-0. So kind of that the year series kind of really previewed what we're going to see for an exciting championship matchup when it comes to the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, when these two teams get together, it's just such good hockey. You know, Penn State and Liberty always is quite the battle and brings out the best. You know, Partridge had a great game against them in that win, got the shutout, so that was huge for him. And a lot of it just comes down to the young guns. You know, we're talking about, like Jackson Roy's had a huge year. Drew Crilley has been fantastic as well for the Flames. But when you have that many young players in a group, they're going to have to perform against some veteran players over there on Penn State. So can a guy like Timothy Doe step up in those, big moments? And hard to believe, but Niederer and Flanders are even still young guys, right? Only their second year. So, and those are kind of your go-to offensive weapons. So do they have enough experience from last season where they're going to be able to step up in a clutch moment? I personally think so. Having watched them over the last year and a half, they're both big-time guys, and they're going to be itching to get back at it, coming off of injury. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, Pat.
And yeah, talking a little bit about the Flames regionals, obviously looks like the name of the game. They're going to be trying to make that push for number 2, and it's going to be tight and come pretty much down to the wire. But what are the Flames going to have to be able to do to kind of close out even the second semester to try to maybe catapult themselves over Penn State?
That's going to be pretty tough as somebody's trying to call me here. Get these people off, Good, there we go. Yeah, it's going to be a tough road here, because you lost to Penn State. You had that kind of a junker loss to Louisville. Just the way the ranking system goes, it is tough to kind of bounce back from that. But you just need to be consistent here throughout, because honestly, if you finish third, you finish fourth, in my mind, it doesn't really matter. Just kind of be consistent throughout the rest of the year. Finish in the third or fourth spot. If you can push for the number 2, first or second, I'm not saying don't try. Obviously, give it your all, because either one of the top 2 teams can have lay an egg one night and you can jump up in that spot. But I think the biggest thing is just as your team is young, you learn to grow. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to go back to regionals and kind of go through that environment, get in the fire, struggle through it. You'll learn a lot about your team. If you make it to nationals, that's fantastic because you grow as a group through that process.
And through that process, let's say the Flames do make it to regionals once again. They got another benefit because regionals will be here at Lehigh Center again, so that's going to be huge coming down later in the year. But Rad, as always, thank you for your insight on the Division II team. And for everyone else, hope you enjoyed this. And also, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas. And what do you want to wish them? A Happy New Year?
Yeah, Happy New Year for sure.
Absolutely. And also, got to be one other thing.
Oh, yes.
Jesus is the reason for this season. So thank you all for tuning in. And also, make sure to follow Flames Hockey when it comes to the Division II teams on Twitter and Instagram. Rhett McGibbon, Pat Strong.